Cody Garbrandt released a statement on his submission loss to Deiveson Figueiredo. He posted this to X. He wrote, "I felt great in my fight until I started to experience vertigo. I couldn't control the spinning once it was to the ground. Hats off to Deiveson and his camp. I ended up going to the hospital where I was still experiencing the vertigo throwing up until 4 a.m. Thank you Heather and Olivia for monitoring me after the fight. I'll get this corrected. I've dealt with vertigo since 2012. Thank you to the fans that came out to support. It wasn't my night, but I love doing what I do. I'll be back in there before the year is up." A user replied saying, "Quick, delete this, brother. One of my favorite fighters ever in the UFC. Not a good look, man." Cody said, "Not a good look to say what happened to me in a fight by what I was experiencing. It's the truth, taking nothing from Deiveson. You think I would just lay on my back, not getting up the whole time I was spinning, not trying to get my face elbowed in and fighting through it?" So the fan who was involved in an altercation with Arman Tsarukyan will not be suing the UFC as long as he can get tickets to McGregor versus Chandler. First, here's what Dana White had to say about the situation after it happened.
There was also a moment where Arman, it looked like he was punching somebody in the crowd during his walkout.
Yeah, you might not want to hang over the things and grab people when they're walking out. These guys are all piped up and whatever, and I'm sure we're probably going to get sued. We'll deal with that on Monday, too.
Thank you.
All right.
Speaking of bloody elbow, the fan said it was my first time attending a live UFC event and it was absolutely incredible. I'm glad the incident wasn't as bad as it could have been. I do want to make clear that I didn't pull him towards me, yell out offensive words or anything of that nature. I flipped him off, nothing else. Congrats to Arman on a great performance and best of luck to him against whoever he fights for the title. To answer Dana White's comments about suing, I will not sue. That never crossed my mind. My first thought was I hope I don't get kicked out. Thank you, Uncle Dana, for blessing us with an amazing UFC 300 card, and can you bless me and my brothers up with tickets to UFC 303? Speaking of Arman Tsarukyan, Arman ran into Dana White at a stoplight in Vegas last night.
It's on video.
My boss is here.
At a stoplight. I find him at a stoplight.
Crazy, man.
At UFC 300, Bobby Green defeated Jim Miller via unanimous decision. Jim reveals he broke his hand in the first round, broke his toe, and needed 23 stitches.
The struggle is real. Not for what you think, like 23 stitches, which is pretty good. Broke my hand at some point in the first, I think this later half of the round. Broke my toe. I guess I need some milk. But come home, it's gorgeous out. Fruit trees are blooming, some of them at least. Peach trees and the nectarines and the pears look great. But I'm like itching to get the garden going. And I've shoveled horse manure in a walking boot before, but I think with one side of my body down, it's not going to happen today. So appreciate all the support, folks. Love y'all.
Michael Chandler said that he never doubted the fact that he'd eventually get booked versus Conor McGregor.
Morning, guys. Just sitting here nice and early before the family wakes up. It's about 6 o'clock. Just full of gratitude because I've sat here in this chair looking out that window at this time of day, peace, quiet time, getting my day started. I've sat in this chair for the last 16 months every single morning before the family got up. But the quiet that I feel now, the peace that I feel now, feels so much different. 75 days to go get after it. God bless. I'll see you at the top. And I never really doubted it as much as you guys did. I had a lot more reassurances behind the scenes than you guys know about. I just knew it was going to take time. And I preach exactly what I had to go through, and I had my moments that I didn't do so well with it, but the hard work eventually pays off. You just have to still be standing there when it does. And it's not that people don't do the right things. It's that they don't do the right things for long enough. See, it's not about you, and it's not about your timeline. It's not about what you want. Sometimes it's just about doing what you need to do with faith, with enthusiasm, constantly moving forward. That's where the beauty is. Get after it today. See you at the top.
Bobby Green claims he used to beat up Sean Strickland in sparring.
Hey, shout out to Strickland. He would call me to go over and spar with Sean. Sean was fighting at 185. I'm a 155er. But I would beat the dog out of him. Ask him to this day. Ask him to the day. He'll tell you Bobby Green a problem. I used to beat Sean and finally, and he said this one day, like he was at practice, and he's like, man, none of the white guys want to go with me. Only you guys want to fight with me. I was like, hey, what do you mean by you guys? And Sean ain't got no filter either.
No filter.
You black guys. You black guys. So Sean, I hate to say it, but he hung around with and he got to learn, hey, how to fight like a.
It looks like Alex Pereira is probably not fighting at UFC 301 next month. On X, Ariel Helwani says extremely unlikely that Alex Pereira fights in Rio next month. As revealed after the UFC 300 main event, he broke his toe in the days leading up to the fight, and he suffered a second broken toe during the fight. Alex posted footage of him breaking his toe to his Instagram today. In the caption, he wrote 2 weeks before the fight.
Tá ótimo, tá. Agora começar. Toma coisa da mão. Puxa um pouquinho. Puxa. Desce de volta. Olha esse voltou. Não, tem que tirar um pouquinho. Gira ele um pouco. Vai fazer assim, ó. Pra ele voltar. Pra fora, pra frente. Deixa eu ver. Devagar. Tá muito forte. Aí foi? Acho que entrou, né? Deixa eu ver, não. Tá girado assim. Pegado no pé, velho. Foda, velho. Último round, velho. Bem pra caralho, velho. Passou pinando. Puxou um pouquinho assim, ó. Passou aqui assim, ó. Puxou o dedinho vigor. Graças a Deus é só o fequinho, né?
And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one says Pereira waving off Herb Dean on the groin kick and then immediately and brutally knocking out Jamal will be a meme for ages. Alex is just incredible. The second one's from Ron Rammer 4666. Says, I'm convinced Tom's just following people at this rate. And the final one's in reference to Izzy's live reaction to Alex Pereira knocking out Jamal. It says Izzy was so mad. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.